We get right the fuck back to it. We get right back to it. So yeah, talk to me, my boy.
Yeah, so basically, like I was touching on the whole experience about everybody like going through them damn struggling time with being forced to be in their apartment, and it just showed like we all human,
We all human
and being
beings.
forced to be locked away. Yeah, being forced to be locked away somewhere could be you know real stressful on your mental, right? So I just wanted to touch on that. We all human beings,
So let
no
me
matter
ask you.
what mistakes we
So let me ask
made.
you a question, right? Do you feel everyone has a chance of redemption, or certain crimes ain't no coming back from?
Certain crimes ain't no coming back from because it's a some crimes is a mental sickness. Like if you're a predator, you're a sexual predator. There's nothing in the history that showed that a sexual predator will stop. They had a show. I believe it was Oprah Winfrey where she was talking to. They had a place where they would take people after they finished their time from being sexual predators. It was like a little island where they was men and women, and they talked to them personally, like the ones that's gonna be honest about it. And they was like, "Listen, I'm happy I'm here because if I get released, I'm gonna do it again." All right.
Mm.
So I believe if you're a predator, like you're a serial killer, that's not like something where you defend yourself. Some people, some people, some people need to be removed from society because let's not get it twisted, right? Nobody wants their mother, sister, little brother, anybody being sexually assaulted, killed. Now, I'm not saying I'm an angel, but you know what I'm saying? I was forced in a predicament where it was two men in the streets, had what they had on them and handled their business.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, somebody didn't make it out of that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying it's right, but I didn't go looking for nobody. I
Right.
defended myself. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this
And
question
I
right
feel
here.
I
So let me ask you this question right here. Was it a plea for 30 years, or you went to trial?
so I went to trial. I went to trial, but I was facing 100 to life. I was
Mm.
facing 100 to life because it wasn't just one incident that I was being charged for. It was like a week of things occurring in this different situations, and
Okay.
that's what led me to be facing so much time. But during the trial, I was able to cop out to a flat 30 because they had a situation where one of the jurors basically was saying, this guy next to me, he comes in drunk every day. So the fact
Mm.
that the judge had to address that issue, and also there was also another female on the jury that was related to my girlfriend at the time's husband. So that was two issues that kind of helped
Mm.
me out
Hell yeah.
because
Lucky
they
they didn't
didn't want to
mistrial that
go
shit.
through all of the yeah, they didn't want to go through that. So basically, they came with an offer, a 30 flat. Versus my lawyer came in the back. He said, "Listen, we continue. You facing 100 to life, and they got a 30 flat offer and satisfactory of all the charges. I'm not going to play with my life. I seen they said worst case scenario you'd be 49 when you go home. So I took that and ran with it.
So let me ask you this question. They told me when I took my 10, you don't start 10 till you got 5 in. So now that you got 20 in on that 30, you on your downhill. How does it feel to be at that peak now where you're looking down at the time versus looking up at it?
It feels good in the sense that it's almost over, and I like basically got the majority of my time in. But it weighs on your mind knowing you so close, but you still not free. Now,
Still not free yet,
from
right?
all of the positive things I did, I made so many positive connections, and I'm missing on opportunities because I'm being invited places. You know, back to the magazine. My little Instagram page that I had my and shout out and thanks to my sisters, my bros, my homegirls, everybody that contribute into keeping my page alive and running it and responding and posting. It's a lot of names I ain't gotta go down the list, but I appreciate because without them I wouldn't have been able to do anything, right?
Right.
But I got traction to the point where I got the opportunity to be interviewed by good publishing Pyrex magazine. They reached
Nice.
out to my kiosk and said they like what I'm doing and they wanted to interview me. So I said, okay. I called. I said, if y'all gonna interview me, and this is how I ended up getting the cover because I wasn't getting the cover. I said, if y'all gonna interview me, I'm gonna make sure everybody that I know out on the street. This is a prison-based magazine. I'm gonna have people buying it, taking pictures, taking videos. And he was like, if you gonna do that, you might as well have a cover. So I was
That's it.
like, thank you. So that's how I got the cover. But then they asked, well, I have the back cover. They wanted a female on the cover, and they asked me what female should be put on the front cover of Pirates magazine. And I said, there's nobody more deserving than Lala because she got 360 program in Rikers Island where she's taking the
Yes.
time out
Yes.
of her life to
Yes.
really
Yes.
give time to these
Yes.
kids.
Big shout to
So I
Lala for
said,
that.
there's nobody, shout out to Lala, there's nobody better to put
To
on the
any
cover. And
celebrity that's taking the time out of their busy schedules to involve themselves in
exactly,
prison reform. You know what I'm saying? I tilt my hat to them. Big shout to any celebrity that's reaching out and trying to get brothers home and get cases overturned,
yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? You can't ask for more than that. You know what I mean? You can't ask for more than that. So big shout
yeah,
to her for that. Word.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
That's what's up, yo. All right, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this on some G War Chronicle shit. What's the craziest thing you've seen in your 20 years of being down?
In my 20 years of being down, the craziest thing I've seen, hmm, I would have to say the craziest thing. I used to work in the draft process, right?
Okay.
I used to work in the draft process in Comstock Correctional Facility, and they had put me in the back in the cage, right, to get me out the way. It was only two porters, but I was the only one there that day. And the craziest thing I've seen was when they brought a dude down there. There's nobody else down there. It was like probably like 10 to 20 officers. And
Okay.
I'm in the cage, locked in the cage, and they brought that man in their cuffs, and they took turns beating the shit out of him.
Mm.
And he was just screaming, all right, all right. And it was so many officers, right? They had a female officer. She was close down to the cage with me, and this is how I say all officers is not bad because it bothered her to the point where she put her head down and started crying.
Mm.
Because when I tell you, they took turns on that man, beating him. One got tired, they went to the next one, and it's the craziest because you sitting there, you can't do nothing.
Can't do
Right?
nothing.
You can't do nothing. You locked in the cage, and even though I didn't know the brother, I'm like, damn, like, do I come out and just pop and get the same treatment?
Right, 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 right.
You know what I'm saying? Or is nothing you could do now. It's that had to be the most fucked up thing I visually seen from officers that's supposed to have a job to where they supposed to protect and serve, right? And correct. Not that was like gang assault, right? But even worse than that is like, see how I just described seeing a bunch of white racist men beat on a black dude that was cuffed up. It's actually worse to see how we be getting at each other here. That's actually worse. To me. They supposed to want to hate us. They supposed to want to do what they doing because of their own negative mindset. But why are we doing it to each other? Also,
I think that's the
the,
biggest I think that's the biggest misconception. You know what I'm saying? And we do it to each other effortlessly, but when it come time to do it with other things and other creeds and races, it's a whole. You know, we had a situation,
hello.
and yeah, we had a situation in the feds where we had asked all the brothers to come out.
Yeah,
We had asked all the brothers to come out because it was a situation, and and we you talking about 900 brothers on the yard, and only like 60 niggas came outside.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because it was a war with the Mexicans and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, bruh,
yeah,
only not even 100 niggas came outside. But if it would have been Philly against Jersey, if it had been Dallas against Cali, you know what I'm saying? It'd have been filled up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the
yeah,
crazy thing I don't get, yo. It's like we got so much self hatred towards each other, but
yeah,
we don't never display that shit when it's time to. You know what I'm
yeah. Now, I just want to say this too, right? Because I'm touching on the ugliness, but that also in the history of me being incarcerated, they got stand up dudes that stood up and you know what I'm saying. They wasn't selected, but it's just the weight, the balance of the weight of those type of dudes like K.O. Smitty and dudes like that sit up against the oppressors no matter what. Guys that stood tall and stand together for each other. If you got pulled out in the hallway, they PK'd everybody out the jail.
saying? Right, right,
But
right.
it was a situation. It was other situations where I was in Comstock and you can literally hear the CEOs cracking the dude's cell in 2 in the morning, rushing their cell and beating them mercilessly. You
Mm,
can hear the sticks hitting his flesh. You can hear the man screaming, and everybody's being woke up to this. And I shouted, I'm like, yo, I know y'all hear this. Like, what we doing? And you won't hear not one person say nothing, and that just turned me up.
mm,
I listen. I've been in my situation. I told you I was a draft point. I was down there with the beat up squad, working around the beat up squad. I got put in a situation where they tested me. I'm by myself, standing 10 toes. They said, "Oh, you think you tough, Perkins?" I said, "No, I know I'm tough." It's like, "Well, why don't you go smack Officer Collins?" I'm like, "Why would I do that? Y'all just gonna jump me." I said, "Listen, I'm not looking for trouble. But I'm not against going in this cage with each one of y'all one by one right now. But I'm not looking for trouble."
one by
They
one.
looked around, and at this time, I'm 220 solid muscle. I'm competing and all that, and they didn't take that chance. So I've been in situations where I was up against the oppressor, and I stood 10 toes. You know what I'm saying? Even for other people, I stood up for other people in the hallways, different situations. Those that know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that go looking for trouble, but I handle my shit when it come my way. But it's about maturing and knowing how to make the best choices. I'm glad that I have prison been the safest place for me. I'm not even gonna lie. All my all my attempts on my life and wildness was in the streets.
It's in the street.
Streets of Brooklyn,
So let
streets
me
of
ask you this.
Schenectady.
That's crazy.
What's up, bro?
I got family at the disconnect right now. So let me ask you this. On a current
What's up?
situation that's going on, have you been following the case with Carmelo Anthony, the situation that happened in Texas?
Carmelo Anthony,
Yeah,
the basketball player?
the Carmelo Anthony Jr., the young boy that stabbed the dude and killed him inside Texas.
Nah, I didn't hear about that.
See, cause y'all okay, so the fucking news up there probably different, but there's a young man, 17 years old, just got committed to the state prison inside Texas. He was getting jumped by four white boys, and he stabbed
Yeah,
one. He stabbed one and unalived him. I mean, and he got 35 years for that. And
that's sad.
That's sad. Hell yeah. And I just did a segment where I'm like, his safety in jail. You know what I'm saying? Him knowing officers knowing that he took quote unquote one of theirs. He may get that 2 in the morning whole treatment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they definitely gonna mistreat you. It's unfortunate he had to go through that. Listen, most of us that know that been in the mix. If you in a violent situation and you outnumbered and you fighting for your life, most of the times your intentions ain't to take another life. Your
Right.
intentions is to get out of that situation
Right.
with your life, right?
Right. Right.
And I'm gonna say this again. My intentions was never to take a man life. Unfortunately, it happened. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
feel for the King family. I wish I could rewind back time and that situation never even happened because I know that family is pain because they lost somebody. He's not here and he can't come back. Even
Right.
my family suffered of losing out from having me
Right.
gone, and I was like the caretaker of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You be surprised how much you could affect a community of people, especially your family, if you just that person that's always looking out for people.
Very
You know what
true.
I'm saying? But
Very, very
it's
true.
that's why I also touch on that we need to do better with us because yes, there's crimes being happened with white people hating us and causing the laws is against us and America was built to keep us down through when they took it over and changed it and had slavery, all of that, right? We got to start pushing more love and understanding for each other. Just like the
Talk about it.
like you said the story, like you said the story in the Feds. That's the same in the states. White boy pull up, white boys take him and make sure he good. Spanish boy pull up, they come take him, make sure he good. Black boy pull up and nobody know him. They like, yo, who that? Where he from? You know what I'm saying? Is he affiliated? What is his paper? You know what I'm saying? Is it never just to like and they throwing people in prison that's really got mental problems that need to be in the mental hospital.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's making prison even worse because you clearly see this man is not in his right mind. He's having conversations with three different people. This is not something that like the officers see it, the administration see it, but now they're not giving them the proper care they need. They just throwing them in jail with us.
Yeah. One of
So that's
the
another sad thing.
one one of the major things they was dealing with in the two prisons that we visited, uh, K2 pesticides and mousetrap glue is what niggas is on right now.
It changed the temperature.
How does
Yeah,
it?
so
How does it from the from
that's
the
why
from the inside? From the inside, what is that shit doing to niggas in there, bro?
it's changing the mindset even of some of the most official dudes I've been encountered with, right? And I try to have some understanding that this is not something easy to deal with. Being a slave, being locked away, not having your own freedom. You don't got the privacy to even use the bathroom by yourself.
Right.
They'll
Facts.
come by, knock on your door, telling you, "Oh, we need to see you." When a man's using the bathroom, just to go see your loved ones, you gotta get stripped butt naked, bend
Hmm.
over for another man just to go see your loved ones. So all of those things is mentally taxing on a person, right?
Yes.
And some people need an escape. Some
We
people
need to
need an
escape.
escape,
We need to
right?
escape to deal
But
with that pain. To deal with that pain.
unfortunate, uh, yeah, unfortunately, right? And you see more so with the younger dudes that come to here. They was out there partying and doing whatever they doing, and they still need that fix. So they come in and they gonna fuck with what's available.
They
And
gonna fuck with
unfortunately, like that,
whatever's gonna take them out of here.
that shit, that shit, I say it's like a combination of the '80s where they had the dope. It's like you combine the dope with the crack because they got the crackhead behaviors and the dope fiend lean.
That's crazy.
Sometimes they do out. It's like it makes it more crazy in here because you got people that's not in control of their body and behavior when they own that shit, right? So
Mm,
it eliminates it eliminates respect factor because they don't care anymore. They just looking for their escape. You know what I'm saying? It's
damn,
it's horrible.
that's
It's
horrible.
horrible. These these people will give you a these people will get you in trouble just if you want to smoke a little weed, but they'll let you smoke K2 all day and you won't get in no trouble.
That's crazy
So
work.
what is
Wanting you
that
to,
saying
wanting you to,
about
wanting
that?
you to tweak out. They want you to tweak out. They want you
Yeah,
to
because
tweak out.
it helps keep the system whole, keep these cells filled. It's that.
So, how many different prisons have you been to throughout the course of this bit?
I started off, downstate is no longer open, but that was the process. Everybody go through when you stop at downstate from the county jail. My
Okay.
first facility was Clinton Correctional Facility. I did time there. I went from there to Greenhaven Correctional Facility. Did a few years there. I
Okay.
wound up going to the box, going to the box from Greenhaven. I ended up at Comstock. Did mad time there, and then I came to Easton, and I've been here almost a decade.
I was second. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's what's up, man. I'm glad you staying out of trouble, staying out the way. Is there a religion in all this? Is there a belief system in this?
So it's crazy because I was just having this conversation with my mother on the phone, one of her friends. I was raised in the church. My mother's a religious church Christian. She been all my life. That's all I know from my mother. But
Okay.
I didn't have a belief. I was in them streets. I felt there wasn't no God when you struggling and you don't have much to eat or just the way the things I was experiencing as a child. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't sit right with me. So I'm not gonna lie. God had to come show up on His own to me. No book, no Bible, no church. Showed me that God was real. It was when I was sitting in the jail cell, in the county jail, facing 100 to life. All my family gone, everything, all of the materialistic stuff, jewels and cars gone, all of that's gone. And I had like a real bad anxiety attack. It felt like I was about to die.
Mm.
And I just said, God help me. And out of nowhere, I just started feeling good and smiling. And I was just like, okay, that's God
Okay.
showing me He's
Okay.
there. So I'm a strong believer that God is our creator and He's real because He showed me He's real and He followed me. He carried me through this whole 20 years. That's the only thing I could say about how I came so far without being harmed because I've been in situations with police where they were supposed to crunch me.
Right.
I've been in situations with prisoners where things could have got crazy. But God carried me through this whole bit, and that's why I put the work in to do what's right. I made major changes, not just because I want my freedom, but just because I'm a grown man and I know better now.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know
Right.
better, you do better. I got clemency in. I got my application in the clemency bureau as we speak. I got a change.org petition up for my clemency. Clemency for Todd Perkins. I'm waiting for Kathy Hochul to pick me and get
Right.
me
Right.
out of
Right.
here so I can
Exactly.
come
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
put in work like you, Andre Norman, DX Tone, Pistol Pete,
Big
and
shout. Big shout to.
uh,
Big shout to everybody, man. That's doing any type of political work out here, man. That's making a choice to step back in, reach out to the brothers, man. How can we find the magazine? How can anybody listening to this reach you? You know
hold
what I'm saying? Throw your handles
real
out
quick,
there.
real quick, real quick. My brother Hugo from Live and Direct. Big shout out to him too, man. But yeah, goodstuffpublishing.com. is where the magazine company resides, where you can order and get things. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tony Lee out there doing his thing with Next Stop. I want to give a shout out to my family that always supported me. I want to give a shout out to JoJo out there in LA, Joisha Jefferson. I want to give a shout out to everybody that just supported me over the years and checked on my well being, and free my brother Paris, free my brother Curtis. Everybody stay safe out there.
So let
Stay
me ask you
prayed
this.
up.
So let me ask you this right here. For that youngin coming up in Brooklyn, East New York, that youngin in Fort Greene, Farragut, that youngin in Brevoort, that youngin in Pink House, Cypress, the niggas out there in the street that's chasing this dream, chasing this illusion, out there drilling, out there doing what they feel is the right shit to do right now. What would you tell that young nigga right now that's 15, 16, 17, that's looking at the story like it's something to do? You know what I'm saying? What would you tell him right now?
I would tell all of them, listen, the streets don't got no love for you. Everything that we learn in the street culture, the codes and everything, you do the wrong thing, you're going to end up somewhere you don't want to be. It's two choices. You're going to be dead or in jail, and I'm one that's in jail. And I wish I could rewind back time and not do all of the things I did to mess my life up. I missed out on so much family, lost family, and we all gotta learn, live and learn, right? But I want all of the youngins to learn from other mistakes, other people's mistakes, right? All of the cars and Jews and all of that, the fake love come from that. Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when I lost all of that and I got locked up, when you get them football numbers, all that street shit is gone. Everybody that was out there all in your face, saluting you when you step in the spot and all of that is gone. Some people are fortunate to have people come pop up, but your life has changed forever. And it's not something you want. Trust me. The most precious thing is health and your freedom. If they could tell me right now, you could go home and be free, but you can only live in the cardboard box, I tell them, give me my box right now, because freedom is precious, and the homeless person will tell you that.
Straight like that.
A lot of people choose. A lot of people choose to live underground in train stations and all that because they still got their freedom. And I'm not saying it's a good situation, but you take it from somebody that don't have their freedom right now. It's precious, and I can't wait to get back to it. I can't wait to live better. Can't wait to enjoy life. I can't wait to stay positive. Protect your energy. Stay away from negative energy. Like
You have 1 minute left.
this
Man, you
ain't
know the
it. But I
man, you
appreciate
know
you,
the
brother.
shit. You got 1 minute left, man. Rock out, man. Let these niggas know who the fuck you is, where you at, what you got going the fuck on, man. Come the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You got 10 left
Yeah,
on that shit. You walking that shit down, my boy.
my yeah, it's Todd Perkins. Everybody know me as Todd. Can't wait to pop out there and show y'all what I got coming next. Cause this is not the end of my story. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to everybody. Much love to everybody. Everybody stay safe.
You already
Show
know
each
the
other
shit,
more love
man.
and understanding.
You already know the shit. I
Peace, brother.
appreciate you for
Thank you.
coming on the platform, my boy. It's another episode of G World Chronicles, phone edition. We live from the inside. My boy, you hold it the fuck down. I'm gonna hit you.
Shout out, real quick to Fu Quan podcast too. He did an interview on me. I appreciate all y'all brothers. You stay safe, brother.
Easy, my
Peace.
boy. Take care of yourself in there.
Definitely.
Peace.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.